return on your investment exists in this market, like 1400x your capital. But remember, those who holded on to those assets for a long time reaped that profit. And if you won't listen to the shoutouts from the charts are giving you proper instructions. And if you're unable to read those signs, you may not actually get these profits, because the price fluctuation of XRP, if you are looking at the charts, you're going to get the history, and you need that true information along with the efficient fundamental analysis, because in fundamental analysis you are able to understand things of today and past and how it has been reflected with the price, right, when you're comparing both. So AI, artificial intelligence for payment system, is one among the key topics of the day in payment industry, and the whole thing is changing here. Where do you actually think this is taking us? It leads us, yes, of course, into the next gen financial system using RippleNet, ILP, XRP ledger, right? So that's where we are being led to. And why this is so important? Because when we enter into a central bank digital currency era, we are going to see much more needs for this oil of the financial industry. Because, when we look at the fight between US and China and rest of the world, the things are getting a bit of confusing in the financial industry because of the geopolitical issues with yuan, dollar, and even Russia trying to put out their own central bank digital currency. Things are actually heating up. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you received value, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And to support the channel further and to get additional value for your portfolio, you can use the Patreon, PayPal, or XRP wallet address given in the description below. So let's get back into the real talk of the fundamentals, right? Then we have to analyze the chart, what the different patterns are showing us, from the diamond pattern in a longer time frame to shorter time frame patterns and trends which we can find in the charts, and using the indicators how they are giving us signs, right? We'll actually have to go through that. So when we actually talk about all of this, you actually have to understand there are things of the past and things of future. As I showed you guys in yesterday's video, central bank digital currency will push XRP adoption as a bridge asset. And giants like MasterCard understand the importance of this area. And they are all over it now. And when the banks-led initiative itself is kind of being delayed, the comment from Corey really makes sense. They need a neutral asset to execute this, or to pull out the CBDC era. They need someone neutral. One won't trust the other guy, and that doesn't work in a decentralized manner. You are distributing the trust, and if you don't trust the other side, you are not able to execute that properly. And when you enter into the central bank digital currency era and you doubt one nation, that's going to be worth looking at. Why? Because if they are the only nation going to roll out it now and push the adoption towards Asia and other regions, other side, the West, may have to think double time about this. Now, the first article which I would like to actually show you guys is this, which kind of, is from Tata Consultancy Agency, and it shows AI in payment systems is emerging. Now, when we say artificial intelligence, don't just directly, think about multiple aspects like machine learning, artificial intelligence, the state of the art technology and all. Yeah, those are involved. But when we read through this, what you have to understand is it is critical to understand AI and its benefits, as well as its application to real-world scenarios in payments. This article identifies key technology and explains how regulators, payment operators, financial market infrastructure, and financial institutions can apply AI to proactively identify risk in payment flows. Now, when they talk about that, do look at here adoption of rich data, which leads us to ISO 20022. Now, where does that actually leads us? Towards the interoperability. So, as the main goal of ISO 20022 are to increase the interoperability between jurisdictions, improve the quality of data, and simplify the compliance. So, the status quo guys, they can't actually survive without this technology. So, the incumbent on any technology to be able to understand, adopt to specific requirements. So, they have to actually come on board of this. Even though Swift is delaying this, automatically this is going to change the real-time payment processing. Now, back in 2017, this was really happening even back then. Say Bank of England fintech accelerator to work with AI and Ripple. So they are all looking at the technology and how it can provide them better experience in the payments industry. And when you come to Ripple Insights, for Ripple's own website, if you look at early 2020, they put out this one: what's next for the future of payments. So we are actually looking at the payment system changing, using the new technology, adopting the new technology, moving into the new era, like leveraging emerging technology for competitive edge. Now, when you come to the paragraph 2, it shows like this. They are showing you different aspects of different types of factors involved in this technology. And then it comes here, right, into emerging blockchain networks, artificial intelligence engines, and other emerging fintech categories. Meaning you can directly go and integrate with all of these from RippleNet. Why? Because it provides you the best interoperability solution using ILP, which is the Interledger Protocol. So now with ILP and on-demand liquidity platform, you actually get to experience a frictionless payment. Now that is the trend which is being accelerated in the 2020. So now when we look ahead from here, say 2020 to 2022, from there to 2025, what we are looking at is the network effect, and it's really going to kick in as we see more and more adoption pilots for Ripple and the company along with XRP Ledger on-demand liquidity stuff. This is going to be the next generational thing. Now, Michael sent me this one and it shows like they are all looking at wallets. Now, yes, previously Fed was also talking about providing a wallet for everyone by Jan 2021. Now, that's not way far ahead from where we are now. Yes, I agree. Still, there are talks about September 15th, October 1st. I kind of understand that. There can be possibilities. There is a push in price with some of announcement from these organizations. But looking at the wallets which is being provided to the masses, that will then be interoperable with other kind of wallets, such as, if you look at Uphold, you'll understand that, it is kind of working with the Interledger protocol. So, it kind of can take value from any ledger, any wallet. That gives them the ability to do that. So now when we actually see that this is really happening, you have to understand everyone is interested in this space. And if everyone is actually interested in this particular space, and the price of one of the asset which is going to be playing the major role is down 95% from the all-time high, as an investor, what should you do? That is one of the huge questions which you will get. Now, yes, whenever we say that, you also have to understand, say, we had a rounded effect which we were all waiting for, which we thought that the price would be, reflecting towards that pattern and it would be going to the upside. Instead, it broke to the downside. It retested that area many times and then broke again to the downside. Then if you plot the pattern again, we saw something similar again. The price actually went to the upside kind of a little bit, but in fact it was retesting that rounded bottom top. So that support and resistance area in that trend is changing. Why? Yes, we had that couple of times. We failed to actually get on top of that one. I kind of agree with that perspective. But when we look at things, how it is being changed from their own really matters. We are still above that pattern and we are getting a bounce. Even the RSI suggests us that we are moving towards the upside. Now that's on a weekly chart, a zoomed out view looking at things, to get the holistic picture of price fluctuation and how the buyers are in entering the market. So this kind of gives us that the strength of buyers or the momentum in buying side is increasing. And yeah, we can actually see different patterns when we look at charts. Say on a 3-day chart, you kind of get a diamond pattern for which you have 160% to the upside. Now if you look at it on a different aspect like this, yeah, you still have 160%, but we managed around half of that move to the upside. So when that being said, you have to understand, when we zoom out and look at things, you can really understand that there is still a possibility that the price may move around 200% if you take the wick from the bottom to the top here as your target. Now I just took this being a bit conservative, taking out within the actual close there. So if you look at that, we are still ready to move above 0.5 to 0.7. Now yes, we are saying that from a week, a month, looking at different patterns, showing indicators which are all supportive of this matter, right? When we see this, we also have to understand previously, along with that rounded bottom there, we also got this one there, the diamond pattern, but the price just broke to the downside from the pattern, whereas here the price is breaking to the upside. That's why when I showed you guys this, I told you things are changing here. If you look at here, when we were kind of rounding to the upside, this is rounding to the downside, rounding the bottom and rounding to the upside, right? We didn't manage to go or bounce in that level. Instead we just went below that and retested that area. So if you are to look at this where we are now, what you can see is, even if you extend this line like this to check out like this, or extend it like this, you are gonna get one thing clear, that we have actually started that bounce. Say for example, if you are looking at stuff like this, connecting majority of the bounces from that particular area, what you would be understanding is, yes, we did manage to bounce that area where we didn't manage it previous 2 times. So there are things changing, the wind is changing. But why you actually need to understand these? Because if you are a long-term investor just investing in XRP and forgetting that, putting that in a ledger and saving your password for sure, and then forgetting that 4 or 5 years, it's okay for you. Even if the price is fluctuating within a short duration and retracing a bit, you'll get to notice news and be able to take out profit. Now yes, that won't be the exact top or the bottom, but say the price went 9,000%, 8,000%, and you took out somewhere here around 4,000%. Still 4,000% is something cool. Now if you were someone who saw the news here and at least managed to get your profit somewhere out here, it's still 25,000%. Those who reaped the 1,400x on their profits are those who bought at the bottom when everyone was selling and took the price at the top when everyone was buying, right? So they reaped the majority of profit. Say that's 1,400x, and even if you manage 1,000x, whoop, that's really huge. But all of those happened without these kind of fundamentals which we are watching now, right? Now why is that a neutral asset is required in the future, which we are all being led on to? If you are looking at a digital ID which is being created in the name of health crisis, which you will need, if you are looking at Australia, you'll understand, if you want to go to a public school and a public space, you'll need to be vaccinated and you will have to show that ID. So all of these stuff would have to be interoperable in one manner in different countries and different regions. Say you are being vaccinated in one geographical area and you need that ID to show that when you're flying to another geographical area, you still need something which has to be interoperable. Now that's interoperability for information. They are actually building a web, a quantum internet, in which everything would be running parallel to the existing system, in which we can say that the common man would be still using the 5G stuff, 4G, 5G, whichever they have, but the governments and corporates, financial giants, their information would be secured using that kind of network. We went through that, right? Now, this one kind of highlights how it is changing, and the pressure to decouple from that side is huge. Now, when the stock market is becoming too much volatile, yes, volatility is the opportunity where you make money, but you also lose money if you don't understand the market. And when you look at the market, zoom out, look at it on a weekly or a monthly basis, you will understand one thing: it's making all-time highs. And majority of the real investors, the smart money, would be taking out their profits way before you are. And that's when you can see the distributional pattern in the price fluctuation, and then the price will go to the downside. So whenever you see a 20% drop and a 6% bounce in stock market, do understand those who guys are taking the profit would be allocating that into a different asset class, an alternative asset class. And that's where, this tweet from Barry Silbert really plays in. Digital Currency Group reveals sudden acquisition of Bitcoin and crypto exchange. So yes, this is increasing the adoption in this space, the interest in this space, all are increasing, unless you don't see all of these things together which are evolving. We know the importance of exchanges in the era of digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and when those are getting into a ledger which is interoperable with each other and provides you frictionless, near zero cost and all, they're all going to adopt it. It won't be just one exchange getting onto it. When we even see central bank like Bank of England talking about ILP, we know that it's something really serious. Now, thing which you have to understand is, when we say about the general cryptocurrency market, when the price move into the cryptocurrency market, it will actually push almost all the boats. Now, those kind of waves, I agree, will push this market upside. Even if they don't have proper fundamentals, you would see profits being reaped by investors in those assets in maybe thousands of percentage. But in the long run, what you have to understand is, real investors look at the fundamentals, and whenever an asset without much of a fundamental gets into a bubble, they would be taking out their profit and start selling from that point on. So you should be cautious about that. If you are looking at profits, you have to understand, if you are owning XRP, do consider this, the Flare network, the Spark token giveaway and all, because Flare is really highlighting what they are improving. So there are some issues in this particular network, and we are here to solve that. We are here to offer more services for XRP Ledger, with smart contracts being introduced into it, so they are going to get more value. Now, yes, it would be taking time. They would be rolling out that by December 12th, but if you are ready to take that profit by that time, you are actually ready to go, right? Why? Because at the same time, in the other side, economy is going to the downside, debt is rising. So if you are looking at digital asset industry inside the financial industry, that's thriving when the entire economy is going to the downside. So which boat are you on? That will be the question in the next 5 years. Say after 10-15 years, you look at your kids and they would be asking, what did you actually do at that time? Now, that can be a positive question or a negative one, depending upon your personal financial situation. Because if you are to make the right choice, pick the right assets, you would be in a positive scenario, right? So that's why we are here trying to show you almost every possible scenario of the fundamental side and the technical side. Hope you guys actually received value for your time, and if you do like the contents, please do hit that like and subscribe button. If you would like to get more information, you can visit this channel, Scientific Investor, and get into the videos. You will be able to see a lot of interesting news. Unlike other hypers, it would be, there would be hype. I won't say there are not hype, because the channel won't actually work in that way. At least 1 to 2%, I have to. Otherwise, no one cares. Even if I'm putting out the real facts using real documents and presenting that, majority don't care if there is nothing like price fluctuation and all. If you look at other stuffs like where we have actually went in depth with the current status, current affair, reality of documents, which are really important. You get to see like 2000, 3000 views or something like that. But sometimes, rarely, you kind of get to see people are watching this video, 5,000, 10,000 views and all, considering the channel and the subscribers. That's actually huge. So if you want to take a look at the channel videos, you can, because some of the videos most of the viewers are new here, and if you haven't watched the videos of 1 month old, 2 month old, 3 month old, those really gives you value. Because say for example, one of the video which I really got a lot of attention from in terms of comments and how I responded to them is this: read these documents, smart money is coming in. So if you haven't watched that, you really will have to take a look at that, because these kind of documents are really going to push this high. Now when you come into this area 3 months before, you're also going to get a lot of documents in, say, this set of videos, which would be 2 weeks of contents. But you can only watch that, just go zoom in, check out what's happening. You can end the video in a half an hour, so you're gonna get entire stuff of past in like 30 minutes. So guys, that's all for today, and I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.